Michael Jackson's story doesn't begin with superstardom. It begins in a small house in Gary, Indiana, where the sounds of musical instruments and the rhythm of talent echoed long before the world ever knew his name. Before he became the king of pop, before the moonwalk, before the global tours and the transformative albums, he was just a boy with an extraordinary spark, one that refused to be ignored. His journey to becoming a star is not accidental. It is a story of raw talent, relentless discipline, and the type of passion that can't be taught. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958, the eighth of 10 children in the Jackson family. His father, Joseph Jackson, worked long shifts at a steel mill, supporting a large household in a working-class neighborhood. His mother, Katherine Jackson, nurtured her children's creativity, filling the home with music and encouraging singing and harmony. The Jackson family didn't have wealth, but they had something more powerful. They had drive and belief. Michael grew up watching his older brothers, Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine, practice instruments in the living room and perform as local entertainers. Music filled the house like electricity, and young Michael absorbed it like oxygen. From a very early age, Michael displayed unusual musical ability. He connected with rhythm instantly. He could mimic melodies, repeat complicated harmony lines, and perform dance steps with precision beyond his age. His father noticed it, everyone did. Joseph Jackson soon formed a group with his sons, calling them the Jackson Brothers, later renamed the Jackson 5 when Michael and Marlon joined. Michael was only 5 years old, but even then, he stood out. While other children his age were learning how to read, Michael was capturing audiences in talent shows, spinning around stages and captivating crowds with a voice filled with emotion and depth. Michael's voice was pure, soulful, and surprisingly mature. When he sang, it wasn't just sound, it was storytelling. He didn't just hit notes, he felt them, shaping each lyric like it belonged to him. On stage, he had no fear. He had no hesitation. He performed like the stage belonged to him, like the spotlight was created for him. His early performances earned the attention of audiences and judges, and soon the Jackson 5 began winning talent shows across the Midwest. What makes Michael's early rise so remarkable is not just the talent, it's the discipline. Joseph Jackson drilled the group relentlessly. Rehearsals were long, intense, and precise. Mistakes were not tolerated. The Jackson 5 practiced their choreography over and over again until their movements were synchronized like gears in a machine. But even in those demanding sessions, Michael managed to inject his own flair, spins, gestures, emotion. He didn't just follow routines, he elevated them. That tireless dedication paid off. The Jackson 5 caught the attention of Motown Records, one of the largest and most influential labels in the United States, home to artists like Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, and Marvin Gaye. In 1969, the group signed their Motown contract, marking the moment Michael stepped into the professional music world. This wasn't just an achievement, it was a breakthrough, especially at a time when child stars were rare and competition was fierce. When their first single, I Want You Back, was released, it exploded onto the charts with an energy that matched the power of Michael's voice. The world heard something fresh, electrifying, and undeniable. The song shot straight to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then came ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. 4 consecutive #1 hits. No group had ever done that before, not even the Beatles. Michael was only 11 years old. That sudden fame launched him from the cramped house in Gary to stages all over the world. Flashing lights, screaming fans, constant performances, press interviews, his childhood became public property. But Michael didn't just survive the pressure, he thrived in it. On stage, he became a different being, filled with passion and an instinctive ability to connect with the audience. His emotions translated into movement. His face expressed every lyric. When he danced, people couldn't look away. When he sang, listeners felt the soul behind the voice. Even at that young age, Michael wasn't satisfied with being good. He wanted to be the best. He studied James Brown, Jackie Wilson, Fred Astaire, and watched their performances obsessively. He absorbed influences like a sponge, but he always transformed them, making everything uniquely Michael. He worked harder than others, not because he was forced, but because he needed to. Greatness was already growing inside him. As Michael transitioned into his teenage years, he released solo music through Motown. Songs like Ben and Got to Be There revealed that he wasn't just the energetic voice of a group, he was a standalone artist with emotional depth. His voice matured, and so did his presence. He had learned how to control a crowd, how to command a stage, and how to build a connection through music. But Motown had limits. They chose songs for him, controlled his image, and shaped the sound of the Jackson 5. Michael wanted more creative freedom. He wanted to write, produce, and craft his own musical vision. In 1975, the group left Motown and signed with Epic Records, marking another turning point in Michael's early rise. At Epic, something shifted. Michael took on more leadership in the studio. He wasn't just singing, he was shaping the music. He began writing lyrics, experimenting with harmonies, and refining his vocal style. His genius was starting to emerge. In 1979, he released Off the Wall, his first major solo project as an adult, produced by the legendary Quincy Jones. The album changed everything. Songs like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You showed the world that Michael was no longer just the former child star from the Jackson 5. He was a visionary. He wanted his music to be global. He wanted to break boundaries. And he did. Off the Wall sold millions. It became one of the most successful albums ever by a young solo artist. Yet even with such massive success, Michael felt he had more to prove. He once said, "The greatest education in the world is watching the masters at work." And he wasn't just watching, he was building something that the world had never seen. People didn't realize it yet, but Michael was preparing to change music, entertainment, and global culture forever. His transition from a talented boy to a world-class performer was complete. The child star became a visionary artist. The boy from the small house became a force capable of influencing the entire world. And this moment, is where the legend truly begins. Before we wrap up this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the podcast. Your support helps us keep creating deep dives like this one. Drop a comment and tell us, what early Michael Jackson memory do you remember? Was it a song, a video, a dance move? We want to hear your thoughts. This is just the beginning. In the next episode, we explore the rise of the Jackson 5 and how that small family group became a global phenomenon. Stick around, stay tuned, and remember, you're listening to Ticking Clock. The story continues, and so does the countdown.